But, Jesse, my concern always is after a big win like that is where you are mentally at this stage, because the expectation is to win, but obviously Arlington Baptist coming in to, make a shocking statement, because the Hilltoppers could be looking at a national ranking sooner than later.
That's cool.
And it will be a swish 3 from Mason Courtney.
I don't think overlooking the team is going to be an issue. It's just, like I said, coming out here taking care of business so you can get some other guys some playing time.
Well, especially those that, that are on the end of the rotation, the ones that are doing the scout team work and practice. You love to see those guys get meaningful minutes. And so far, against our non-D2 competition that we have played against, that has been the case this season.
Right. Actually, Orlando Lake is the only one that's counted on the conference. A few NAIA schools, D3 school in the exhibition and scrimmages, and have done well there. And this Arlington Baptist team, a little bit more talent across the board than we've seen in recent years, in my time here at least.
But they do have a program that is competitive, and they're strong within their conference, as it will be a two-pointer and one situation coming up here for the Hilltoppers and Mason Courtney. But, Jesse, I'm really excited about this team, man. I'm telling you, they got pieces. I was worried about the drop-off without Gavino, and obviously Ryder as a freshman, he might have a few mistakes here and then that a freshman would at this level, but his talent is immense.
Certainly weird for the first time I've ever been here seeing the number 3 and not being Gavino Ramos. Instead, Gavino over there
Graduate
on the
assistant.
bench. And Mr. and Miss Ramos, if y'all are there, shout out to y'all. Miss you guys here. Told G to make sure that he told y'all happy Thanksgiving for me.
This shot missed from 3 from Dante Jones. Hilltoppers get the rebound. This is Jamison Kay. Almost lost the handle, kept it alive, and gets the little roller to go in. And now the Hilltoppers starting to pull away. 12-3 here with 14:10 left in the first half.
The Riders really made that position, that number 3 jersey his own, doing his own way, adding his own little flair to it.
But the Hilltoppers winning at Dallas, they did take down the number 3 nationally ranked Patriots. Coincidentally, both Arlington and Dallas have the same color scheme, are both named Patriots. Ooh, and Ryder Bradley kind of hitting his head on the back of that protective padding on the slide, but it is okay. Robert Conrad, Donovan Santoro getting ready to check in. I'm really excited to see what Santoro, his game continuing to grow here. He has all the tools. Got the height, the athleticism. He can shoot from outside. He can bang inside.
Something I found out just recently, he was a high school teammate of Blake Nielsen and Connor McManus.
Really?
Over there at Austin Westlake. Was actually, when Blake, got here from the airport.
Yes.
He's the one who picked him up and took him to the campus, took him to St. Edwards.
Oh, for real? How funny. And a lot of these guys, they play together through high school or AAU, and it's like a small, very well-connected basketball world. I'm always surprised who knows who, as the ad-one opportunity is good. With the ball here is Marcel Dalcourt. Here to the near side, Davion Allen held up at the baseline. 18 on the shot clock. Ooh, big body there from Jones, and it goes out of play.
Donovan, 6'8", long arms. Not an explosive athlete, but a very fluid one.
But he also comes with that D1 experience. Stops at Providence as well as University of Wisconsin Green Bay for his first 2 years of collegiate ball. Robert Conrad can't get that 3 to go from the corner, but there's Santoro causing issues, and that will force the tip out of play.
And Conrad's one of my favorite stories early in the season. Division III transfer from Trinity. Didn't play much at Trinity. Just complete, bet on his athletic ability and his tenaciousness on defense.
But it's really been his offense that's probably impressed me the most. He has that floater in his arsenal. Ryder Bradley can't knock it down from the stripe.
First time I saw him, on the road over there in Canada. No, sorry. Yeah, no, in Canada.
Yeah, you're right.
Pick somebody at half court. I was like, okay, that's great. So you're down the other way, and then all of a sudden, just from nowhere, just dunked it with authority.
I mean, he has that sneaky athleticism. He's only a 5'11" guy on the roster, compact, but he has great speed. going baseline to baseline.
It's really not fair that somebody that I can look at eye to eye without having to look up can dunk it.
Oh, Ryder Bradley was trying to ride the contact and instead misses the lay-in. This shot taken from the paint and it's missed. Jamison K comes down with the rebound. This is Donovan Santoro. Over to Courtney. Bradley looking for the screen. Back to Bradley. They're going to try to reset with 15 on the shot clock here. You hear Coach Andre Cook say move. Bradley inside. Santoro looking to bang. And Santoro, that was a nice little turn and finish from the left post. 16-13, or 16-3, Hilltoppers in front by 13.
Santoro, very skilled big man. Nice handle for his size. Fluid athlete.
But will cause the foul there as he almost had the swipe.
And really, on the nights that his outside jumper's falling, he'll get you a nice little 8-2, 8-0 run.
Oh, easily. And we've seen that already this season. Less than 12 minutes to go. 11:57 remains. We'll take the timeout here on Flow College. Hilltoppers lead 16-3. Well, we're welcome back here to Ed Norris and Joe Beck Court here on Flow College. I'm Smash Simmons, getting joined by victorious Hilltopper point guard Riley Moore. You guys had a great game, as it will be Robert Conrad who gets one of your like finishes right there at the rack. 18-3 is our score. How are you feeling after that big win? You guys won by 3, had to come back in the fourth quarter. But thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of course. I feel awesome. My team really pulled it out in the fourth quarter. I think we were down by, 13 in the fourth? So to have that is just amazing. I think this team has so much chemistry this year. So I'm really proud of us for, putting an emphasis on defense. So we love to see it.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Reel in the post game, and, we mentioned, last season there was a lot of games where, hey, it was close. You guys couldn't get the finishes you need, but I really felt after tonight, that this was one of those building blocks where you guys are never out of any contest now. That gives you the motivation, and not just that, but the confidence.
No, for sure. When we went to South Dakota and Colorado, we had the same thing. We had a huge deficit in the third or fourth quarter. We came back. So I think just building off of these things and allowing ourselves to come back from, huge deficits like this, it just gives us, right, like you said, the confidence to go back and be like, hey, we did this before, we can do it again.
Hilltoppers will have the inbound with Max Filderman, who is now in the contest. McManus and McKinney out there. Filderman will let this one fly for 3, and he connects and puts up the Hilltoppers 21-3 as we get our way to the midway point of this first half of play. As you can see, there's a lot of hustle and bustle going on here on the booth. It's like, how do you concentrate on one thing as the Hilltoppers get the rebound? I mean, I imagine that you don't get to watch too many games because you have to play most of them now.
Yes. I do like to stay for the boys, though. I love watching them.
And right now they've been playing well.
Extremely well. What, 8-0, 7-0?
You're right, 8-0, looking to go 9-0 tonight. Just beat number 3 ranked Dallas Baptist on the road. And it looks like we really do have a tournament team on our hands, at least right now, if everybody
For
can
sure.
stay healthy.
For sure.
But I'm happy. I'm hoping to have 2 Lone Star Conference tournament teams, and
Absolutely.
no pressure though, Riley.
We need to be right up there with them, for sure.
Oh, easily so. I really feel good about Suni running the point.
For sure.
I mean, Jasmine Jackson getting some extended run here tonight and really came through. And, of course, your leaders like Micah Chapman, Kiana Bennett,
For sure.
both getting things done. And then Bennett's still trying to recover and get healthy as Donovan Santoro lets it fly from downtown and hits the 3. It's a big guy that can shoot the ball from anywhere. 24-3, Hilltoppers lead. Ooh, it looks like they were a little late on the defensive rotation, but Arlington Baptist unable to make the Hilltoppers pay. What are you seeing right now?
You want me to say?
Yeah, you have to tell me. Or you don't have to, but I'd like to know.
I love the
This will go out of play by high
great play
IQ
by Sam. I think the men's offense is amazing. I think they run off ball so well. I think that's something that we could definitely incorporate with us too. Like, they are great with off ball movement. I think that's why they get so many open shots. I know that when me and Connor talk, we always talk about how like Coach Cook just loves offensive play, and I think that they really emphasize that. So I think they do a great job of getting each other open, just like that with Connor giving a pass to Max and him hitting that down. So
Well, you might have a career in this field too after being able to call it like that. Max going 2 for 2 from beyond the arc now with 6 points in this game. 8:43 left. This shot answers back for 3. I want to say
I
that's
think it's
Jeremiah.
32, yeah.
Yeah, see, my job's not so easy. It could be a little hard to read it. But Jeremiah Chapman knocks down that 3 as it's 27-6 here in the first half of play. And again, it's just constant movement here. Santoro behind the three-point line, 10 seconds to work with. He's going to try his luck again,
Oh,
but misses wildly there. Rebound controlled by Marcel Dockcourt. So you all,
that's a great steal. Wow.
that's what this kid does. Robert Conrad.
He's awesome. I was just telling my parents about that, how much he literally just comes off the bench and just gives the defense a run for their money. I mean, or their offense. He is so defensively just driven. He's awesome. He comes in, gets every offensive rebound, defensive rebound, putbacks. I mean, I love watching him. He's awesome.
Yeah,
And he's just a sophomore, yeah?
yeah, it's a transfer in from D3 Trinity.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He wasn't a big part of that program, though. Trinity had a lot of success. There's the cut.
Hey, the famous backdoor cut.
Yes, yes. Always ran well, especially with Coach Andre Cook at the helm of
They get
teaching
it every game.
You'll see it a few times as Santoro almost pulls it away. It gets a chance to go say hi to the fans in the stands as well as we go to the media timeout. Let me ask you while we still have you here. I mean, you guys had a big win tonight, but you guys have to turn around and do it all over again tomorrow against a Western Colorado team that's picked to finish towards the top in the RMAC. Colorado College wasn't picked so highly. You guys took care of business tonight, but what do you all have to do tomorrow to be successful?
Coming from last year, I'm not sure how different they are this year. I know that a couple girls last year really came out and they were awesome beyond the arc, so we really have to stop them from one, transition, and two, getting out on the three-point line. I think it's also coming in with a defensive intensity. I mean, JJ has talked about this entire year how we have to come in and just we have to know the scout like the back of our hand and can't give anything to anyone easy. So I think it's definitely that and locking in on our offensive sets and running the plays how we're supposed to. I mean, I really believe that this team can beat anyone in the country. So if we lock in on those things, I think that we'll be completely fine tomorrow. We just really have to know who we're up against, and if we do get down, we know that we can come back from anything. So.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. You're from Lake Travis, right?
Yes, sir, yes.
So I can't say that you're going to be traveling too far away for Thanksgiving, but what does that
No.
look like for, you want to be ready mentally to play, but then that's coming up and, like, some of your teammates kind of far from home.
Yeah,
in some
for sure.
cases.
I mean, I'm always me and JJ always talk about this, how I need to be more in the moment. So I think that goes for all players. I mean, just tomorrow's our last day. We have to lock in and really, step foot on, who our opponent is and I mean, you can't think about the days ahead. We have to just lock in tomorrow and get this dub. I mean, this is that's one of, like you said, the best teams in the RMAC. So to beat them is a pretty big deal, and especially on our home court, we have to protect that. So I think that's our #1 priority. So.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, that's one of those things that can help with an at-large bid. Make the tournament here in the Lone Star. Might get that outside shot at
For
an
sure.
NCAA AA berth if you can get big wins like that against your South Central regional
For
competition.
sure. Yeah, and I think that this year we're trying to set the tone early. I think that's a really big opportunity for us to come out here and beat a couple teams in the RMAC and really set who we are this year. I think we just need to wear our pride on our shoulder. Like we always say that in practice, like we are who we are and we're going to be that. And we're going to beat people with that intensity all the time. So I think that coming out and winning tomorrow, it would be huge for us. And I think that we need to focus in on that for sure.
Well, you talked about that backdoor cut. We saw it right there again.
Again, yeah.
Another 2 points for the Hilltoppers as it drops in 31-8 as I felt that they could dominate here tonight, but they've already got out to a very early lead, and I don't think they'll be looking back. But this is basketball. Anything can happen.
True.
I guess Jesse really wanted to work on his write-up.
He told me, he was like, that's the best 0-7 game I've ever seen. And he's like, but then you hit your pull-up, and I was like, yeah, I think the basket had a lid on that on there for me tonight. So
third quarter was a little rough, but you
Yeah.
guys really locked in on that fourth quarter. And
we did for sure, and our defense was just was there.
And I was telling JJ during the post game, I was like, hey, everybody stepped up and did like their part throughout
Exactly,
that
played their role
contest.
for sure.
And you were one of them. You stepped up, you hit your shot when you needed to. You played great defense
Thank you.
this game. Like, no joke, because I was like, I'm watching all of it, and
Yes,
it's just like
sir.
making stuff happen.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we needed, and we finally got it. As this is going to be a
Oh!
big flush from Sam McKinney.
That was tough. That was tough.
He is slowly morphing into one of the best in-game dunkers I've seen here on the
I
Hilltop.
know. I think he's had 3 in the last 2 games. It's been awesome.
He's been putting in that extra work in the weight room, kind of going from a 3 to more of a 4-5
For sure.
position. And he's
Especially
kinda,
with Blake this year playing at the 4.
yeah,
When he comes out, there's no step down at all.
and he's really embracing that big man role.
For
now.
sure.
I know Shaq would be happy with that double hand dunk. Man, that was a real rim rocker. 35-8, 5:40 left. This shot for 3, looking to line it up and way off the mark. It's going to be rebounded by Connor McManus. Fielderman running the point here for the Hilltoppers. Let me ask you this, Riley. You could probably equate to this a little bit more than anybody else can. I know you're one of the primary rotation players, so you don't run a whole lot of scout team necessarily, but what does it mean for a game like this where the Hilltoppers should dominate and have an opportunity to let not just the rotation play, but everybody might get a chance to
Right.
step in?
Yes, sir. I mean, I think last year this really helped. Like when I wasn't playing as much, I think this helped me a lot because it lets you get into the game. I mean, high school and college is much different. I think everybody who comes in from that position knows the pace of the game and stuff. So
Well, can I ask you, for the people that don't know,
yeah,
what is it beyond the speed of the game? Because obviously that's the big difference, but what
Yeah.
else? What else would you say is a big difference that maybe people wouldn't think about?
I mean the IQ. I think that really separates itself more than anything else is the amount of decisions that you have to make within the game because it is so fast. I mean, the IQ, the talent, you have to think all these kids that are getting recruited are the best of the best at their high school, as were you. So you have to really go out there and dominate. One, play your role, what you're good at, and really find your niche. I mean, everyone has something that they're good at. So finding that.
Like
And-
finding the bottom of the net
Right.
for 3 for Connor McManus?
I think that just like the decision making, and that's not going to come unless you get into the game. So I think having a deep bench like we do have this year, where we're playing 4 or 5 guards a game, is really important because, I mean, all these kids get to go in and they get to feel what it's like. So when it does come their time and their moment, they get to, really shine in that. So
Little fadeaway step back, knocked down by Dante Jones, makes it 38-12. SEU, trying to do the math in my head, 26-point lead over Arlington Baptist right now. Conrad got
Ooh.
called for the travel.
travel.
We talked about with Jesse here earlier. You talked about Robert Conrad. I mean, probably one of the best stories here on the Hilltop. Came from D3 Trinity. Didn't play a whole lot there, but has been a real game changer for the Hilltoppers
For sure.
this season. And you talked about his defense, but I also really appreciate his offensive play. Has a nice floater in his arsenal.
Totally.
Knocks it down with consistency. I always felt that every undersized guard should have that shot in their arsenal.
Totally. Yeah, he comes out and I think he's just has such good intensity when he comes off the bench. I think he might be one of the best six men I've seen. I mean, he comes out and just puts it on the offense, and then when he gets his shot, he really finishes well at the rim. So I would agree.
That was a Marcel Dalcourt finish for three, 38-15. Jamison K getting harassed there as the ball kicked out of play, but it will stay with the Hilltoppers. And this will be our media timeout as we'll step away here. It's 38-15. Hilltoppers lead with 3:57 left to go in the first half of play. You're watching Hilltopper basketball on Flow College. I feel like I'm hosting a variety show tonight because we have a cavalcade of stars with us. Jesse Blanchard returns here on our color commentary. Great to have a partner along for the ride as the Hilltoppers keep on putting up the points. 41-15 as that three-pointer made by Mason Courtney.
There's one thing I'd love to do in my 8 years now as an SID, 4 here.
Yeah, 4 here.
Is to be able to get, the student athletes and the alumni and stuff time to tell their stories here to the wider audience.
Yes, and that's what I'm hoping to bring more of. Dante Jones knocks down the three. I know I've ran into Ashton Spears a couple of times. He came back during the alumni recognition for homecoming. There's the backdoor cut. It's so pretty. I can watch it all day as Jamison K completes the pass to Connor McManus. But I'm hoping to get Ashton on the call. I'm hoping to get a couple of guys from the 2011 squad like Joseph Saldana or like Zach come back, talk with us a little bit. Man, Jesse, I feel old. I forget these guys got married. They have families now. Some of them have kids, It's just one of those things. So I just like to hear what's going on. And
look at the crossover from Connor.
Bradley looking to drive. Courtney. Turnaround, pull up, Dirk style. Yeah, knocks it down from the paint. 45-21. All Hilltoppers here tonight. 2:37 and counting here in the first half.
Last year we were there with Maho, our student photographer, who graduated, is now working at ESPN.
Yes.
But we were talking about how she had no pictures of Connor because she's so used to just taking photos when they're on the ball. And Connor only holds it for like a second or two at a time.
Yeah, he's always that guy that's coming off of the cut. He's always that guy that's putting in the defensive work.
But he has a little bit more off the bounce than you'd think. Watch them do the stuff, the workouts and everything during the week. And
Hilltoppers going deep in the rotation here to finish out the first half of play. Braden Spinden now on the court as well as Shug Jinkal. I think they were saying that Spinden had the best fits on the team. But then again, the Hilltoppers have a new prompt every game day, it seems, and that credit can go to Michaela. He sets up their social media.
Yeah, today's was best Thanksgiving side dish.
Best Thanksgiving side dish. What's your answer for that, man? Best Thanksgiving side dish.
So my grandmother on my mom's side was from Monterrey, rice and beans.
Rice and beans. Hey, man, that sounds like my Thanksgiving, so I understand.
So
If it's cooked right, it doesn't matter, you know? 2:10 left, 45-21. I guess I'm a little bit more traditional, man. I really do love a good sweet potato casserole with the marshmallow, you know. But that's just me. I know people dislike it, but I love it. Shuk Jin Ko with the pass outside. Oh, look at this. Unselfish play for Brandon Swindon, who knocks down the three. Our PA announcer, TJ Vela, might go hoarse with those three-pointer calls by the end of the night with the way that the Hilltoppers are knocking them down.
And Spinning, you can see the work he's done in the gym and in the weight room and on his conditioning. And it's really, really kind of turbocharged his outside shot.
Well, they're running that three-man weave action behind the arc. It does lead to a good shot that was closed out, but the rebound goes straight away into the awaiting hands of Jamar McCray, the senior out of Kaufman, Texas. It's 48-23. We're nearing the last minute of the first half of play. Hilltoppers in front. Catch and shoot three for Bradley. He ends it up short. And now it's a transition break, 3-on-2. Great job from Spindon to slow it down. Nice pass inside the paint, and one, yes. Jacob Overbeck, the 6'7" senior from Missouri Baptist College out of Santa Fe, Texas, will get the finish. Santa Fe, Texas, not as big as Santa Fe, New Mexico. Just letting you know from experience.
But the home of women's soccer team captain Bailey Williams.
This is also true. Also true.
So small world.
Yes. This is why you're the SID, man. You know everything. Sports and Information Director, if you don't understand what the acronym stands for out there. And again, a big thanks to all our fans that have joined us here on Flow College. 41.3 seconds left. It's 48-25. Hilltoppers in the bonus. So this is a 1-on-1 opportunity for Jamison K. Good to see the K's out here in Texas. I know they don't live too far, but it's good to see them here in Austin tonight. I know a lot of the family and friends trying to save up those trips for conference play beginning in December. K goes 2 for 2 from the line and increases the lead to 25-50. 2:25, it's stolen. Bradley, two-handed jam. The swipe and the smackdown.
The freshman.
Last year, a UIL 5A All-State selection, Ryder Bradley at Leander High, playing for his dad. And there's Shug down there to force that jump ball. I mean, I've been very impressed with our incoming class.
I asked G the other day, like a week ago, you know, not one-on-one, but if you got like 10 ISOs in a game,
Mm-hmm.
you know, 10 ISOs each between him and Ryder, well, who would score more points? He thinks he'd get 10-6.
G?
G thinks he'd get a 10-6 advantage in that.
I mean, he is taller, right?
I'm up to believe G. He's got the veteran tricks and everything else.
I mean, yeah, but I love G, but I don't know if he has the hops like that.
You know, Ryder's the lefty. Shot
That does,
good, not great. Nobody's been able to speed up Ryder so far. Does a great job getting to the free throw line. And the defense, solid to really good on ball, and a monster off the ball. Yeah, some of that credit goes to the assistant coach, Nelson Taroba, and just his system bringing the help at key places.
Yeah, last season, the Hilltoppers kind of emphasizing on that full court pressure. And Coach Taroba kind of adding to that with his defensive schemes.
And it's really been, last year they went a lot of pressing, and I got the idea behind it. You know, you're a high-scoring three-point team.
Spindon with the block.
You can create turnovers. It creates more variance.
And we'll end the quarter or the half on a turnover.
But this year, the defense has been a foundation. It's not been a gimmick. It's not been an extra.
The SEU Dance Team halftime show. As we jump back into this contest here at Ed Norris and Joe Beck Court, we welcome you back to Austin, Texas, as the Hilltoppers have a 52-25 lead, but will also have a turnover to start things off in this second half. Smash Simmons alongside Jesse Blanchard for this one, as the Hilltoppers taking on Arlington Baptist, looking to go 9 straight wins in a row here tonight. And this shot from 3 will count for Marcel Dalcourt, the junior out of Beau Bridge, Louisiana. Makes it 52-28, and Coach Cook. Was it Arlington Baptist that decided to call the timeout?
Either way, Andre doesn't look pleased over there.
No, I can understand why. You know, it was a turnover on the first offensive possession that led to that open 3, so the defense wasn't there either. And I think this is what we kind of had talked about, is about the complacency, not being complacent despite having the big wins and knowing that Thanksgiving break is just a few days ahead. Obviously, always easier said than done, right? But this is not the biggest lead that we have seen the Hilltoppers have here at home this season.
No, they've had big leads, especially in the kind of exhibition games against Houston Tillotson. And welcome Coach Marks back for St. Francis, Illinois.
Well, the one thing that this team usually is really good at, especially in the second half, is really and they don't do it in a dominating fashion per se, but they always find a way to kind of pull away.
Well, the defense has kind of just been a steady drum. That kind of buys the Hilltoppers an early lead, and then once the offense does start clicking, you know, you look up and all of a sudden it's a 15, 20-point lead.
The handoff to Ryder Bradley, looking to drive. Bradley denied at the baseline.
Yeah, Mason in the corner.
Back to Bradley. He'll try it again. This time really muscles his way in. And that is not a freshman finish, man. I'm telling you. He's made the adjustment extremely well to college ball. Foul on Mason Courtney.
A lot of strength. Before he even gets into a college strength and conditioning program, a lot of strength from freshman.
I know, and that's what I'm thinking. It's like he's just going to get stronger while he's here.
And true to kind of this generation of young players, has a great decel step.
Yes. It's one of those moves that I never really thought about, but it became more prevalent over the last decade or so.
Shades of, popularized by James Harden and Luka Doncic. Now everybody's doing it.
Yep. I mean, that's how it usually goes. Hey, you remember when these guys didn't always have all the accoutrements, the arm sleeves, the tights and stuff, but, when AI had the elbow band, like I had one too. No reason for it, just wanted to look cool.
Preferred high socks and goggles.
Yeah.
There's the pass to the corner. Mason
Courtney can't knock down the 3. On the run here is James McCray, really able to hold up on the contact. Zion Bourgeois.
Great verticality by Jameson Cade. Better finish.
And those are 2 grown men just going at it up top. And, sometimes you're going to have a better finish than the defense. Rebound controlled by Gary Gray. Arlington Baptist starting to find their flow in this matchup, and they do. Score on the other end. Marcel Dalcourt once again, 54-33. Dalcourt leading the way in scoring so far, now near double digits. Actually does have double digits with 11.
Not a lot of shot blocking rim protection outside of Sam McKinney for the Hilltoppers, but good size on the wings and precise rotations.
The inbound to Bradley.
Great slip on this one.
And the foul will be called on the floor. Well, the fans that made the trip here to Ed Norris Judd Bet Court getting their money's worth tonight, as all of you are who are watching with us here on Flow Sports. I want to thank you again for tuning in. Bradley. McManus. Yes. Connor McManus knocks down the tray. It's 57-33 with 17:35 remaining. This is an Arlington Baptist team that finished 10-13 last season. Have a couple of victories this season. Short corners, 2 clinks out. The fight for the rebound falls right into the awaiting hands of Davion Allen, who scores. 57-35. So Arlington Baptist feeling a little bit more positive about their offensive output here in the second half. McKinney with the spin and one. I didn't think I could be more impressed with this kid after his outstanding freshman season, but he just gets better and better every game out.
I mean, he has some perimeter skills. He has a nice handle for his size, and he's taking that footwork and just better, applying it a little bit better, a little bit more judiciously. And so something we saw, like the slip the screen and cut back door. A year ago, he was more likely to slip the screen. This year, creating solid contact, at least probably a layup off of a screen that he set to get St. Edward's numbers on the pick and roll. At least one layup a game or dunk a game off of that. And it really makes it, all the more dangerous on that backdoor cut.
It's stolen by Bradley, but he'll lose it out of play. That was a calamity of collisions there. It could have really gone in either direction. Off of the hesitation, the drive. Nice pass to find an open shooter, and Joseph McCray knocks it down. 60-37, Arlington Baptist down by 23, but they're coming back into the lead as that's a turnover, and Coach Cook won't be happy about that. Dante Jones checks back in.
For as good of a start as it has been for St. Edwards, haven't been able to get Connor McManus and Mason Courtney going at the same time.
I've noticed that in this season.
Percentage is a little bit down from deep,
but as I was telling the fans, though, throughout those struggles, Jesse, it's like, hey, I'd rather have him have those struggles now and be able to fix it during conference play. And I'm sure with his attitude and his ability that will transpire. McKinney was thinking about spinning baseline. I'm not sure if he slipped, but he did turn over the basketball.
Had the chair pulled on him.
And Davian Allen couldn't hang on to the basketball as he lets the rock slide through his fingertips out of play.
Just a smart move from the undersized Jamar McCray there. Leaning on him, waiting for the spin, and just take a step back, let his own momentum fall.
Yeah, those bigs always looking for some pressure to make that spin move. Crushing screen there. Fastball movement around the perimeter. Kay with a handoff to Bradley. Bradley putting it up for McKinney. They almost completed the alley-oop. This place would have lost it. This place would have lost it if that was connected upon as we go to the media timeout. 60-37, Hilltoppers lead by 23.
I've watched just about every game, home and away.
Yes.
And that might be the first time I can remember off the top of my head them missing that connection.
It's always different in game, though. Connor McManus leading the way in scoring, 12 points, 5 boards, 2 assists. Mason Courtney, 10 points, 3 rebounds. You have Sam McKinney, 8 points, 6 boards to go along with a block and an assist. Jamison Kay with 6 points and 6 boards. Ryder Bradley, 6 points and 3 boards. A little heavy on the turnovers for Ryder Bradley tonight. He's been credited with 5. Max Fielderman came in, knocked down 2 trays to go along with 2 rebounds. Santoro with 5 points. You have Robert Conrad with 4 points. Braden Spinden with 3 points. And then Shug Jikal had a few minutes of run there towards the end of the first half. For Arlington Baptist have been led by Marcel Dalcourt, 9 points scored with 7 rebounds. You have Dante Jones, 8 points. Davion Allen with 6 and 2 rebounds. And then Zion Bourgeois, 4 points to go along with 2 boards and a steal. Chapman with 5. Both the McCrays have 2 points apiece. Overbeck with 2 points. And then Gary Gray with a point in his work here tonight.
Need about a good 4 to 5 minute stretch here and then turn it over to Shug, Max, Donovan, Rob, and Braden.
Great defense there with the quick hands being showed by Mason Courtney. McKinney, this is a look for 3. Clinks off the left side of the rim. Rebound controlled by Bourgeois. Again, McKinney almost swipes at it away. Good fake to get Kay in the air, but he misses underneath. This pass outside here to Mason Courtney, who will
Watch the
slip
trailing
inside.
3.
Hilltoppers look to reset their offense as we're about a quarter of the way through the second half of play. Back to Bradley up top. Looking to drive. Ryder Bradley takes the contact and one.
The English on that ball, spinning off the glass.
There's that lefty craftiness from Ryder Bradley. I really wasn't sure how that was going to fall, but just the right amount of spin. So it plops right in the cylinder, 62-37. Bradley at the free throw line.
It's a special player right there.
A 75% free throw shooter coming into this game. 25 of 33 on the season. It's 2 or 3 from the line here tonight. Old school three-point play made. Officially a quarter of the way through this second half at 63-37. All Hilltoppers. Bradley, second jam of the night. I'm not sure if that was Arlington Baptist being too lax or Ryder Bradley having a little bit of a ingenuity to know it was coming. Good finish on the other end here from Joseph McCray, the senior from Kaufman, Texas. Takes the contact and finishes. Looking for and one of their own.
I have to do some research on my time here, because we might be approaching like as many dunks in a year as we've had like so far already.
We've had a lot of dunks this season, and while Coach Cook's offense is built around a lot of motion and movement, a lot of cuts, and a lot of three-point scoring, the dunk here later on in his tenure hasn't been as prevalent as it was early on in his tenure. But Jamison Kay put him in the spin cycle. A semi-dream shake, going right, then going left, but still with the dribble. But we have seen a lot of high flyers here in the past. I think about Ashton Spears. I think about Uche Debiamaka. Those guys were tenacious in-game dunkers. But
I apologize. I forgot the Uche dunks. No. Definitely probably have as many dunks this year as we had all of last year.
No, that's definitely for sure. We definitely have seen a more abundance of dunking this season than we did last year. And as that confidence continues to grow, I mean, Hilltoppers are looking at a 9-0 start. There's the backdoor cut. Ran to perfection.
It's funny because that might be one of the most scouted plays in the entire Lone Star Conference. Yet there's so many different options. It works almost every single game.
It's like it's coming, but what are you going to do to stop it? Oh, almost knocked it into their own cylinder, did the Hilltoppers, but Santoro will come away with the rebound. Robert Conrad alongside Bradley. Bradley spinning in the paint. Bradley can't get the finish. Conrad almost had a putback dunk there. The guy has hops. Santoro redirects that shot. Ooh, tough finish. Jamar McCray, listed at only 6 feet tall, able to finish amongst the trees there, 69-41. Hilltoppers lead here as we're nearing our midway point of the second half. This shot from way downtown, and it clanks right off the front of the rim. 13 minutes to go. The
Nice
spin.
spin.
What a pirouette from Davion Allen.
Shades of Tony Parker.
I knew you were going to
From
say that,
Miami.
man. I knew you were going to say that. And it is true. That was a Tony Parker-esque move. I'll give you that. I think that's the joy about the game, man. You just never know what you will see, like a shot like that from Jamison Kay.
The last one's when you hold it on the turbo button, tap the square twice.
Yes. Taking me back, man. 12:25. You're in the second half. The fake worked out well, but the shot not there. Here's Robert Conrad. The kid's got speed. Jamison Kay
Oh,
to
for the
Conrad.
oop.
Oh, couldn't complete the alley-oop, but I like the idea. And the left-handed finish, though, on the opposite end. That is not an easy finish with pace. But well done there from Dante Jones. 12 minutes to go.
The big man to point guard hoop was
Not necessarily how it's usually seen. Santoro, you're seeing the handles from the big fella here. Oh, he hit him with the shake. That's the dream shake right there. Bradley gets it back to Kay. Can't get the finish. Conrad left-handed. If that was a game of 21, you would be back to 0 on the tip-in.
Yeah, Santoro, not the usual kind of like motion, get on and off the ball as quick as you can, offensive player, but a very much needed isolation scorer. Somebody to mix things up and get you tough buckets when he gets going. Valuable piece to have off the bench for an Andre Cook team.
Definitely so. You like to have that versatility with the big man, and like you just mentioned, those handles really smooth there for the big fella out of California. We'll step away and take a quick break. It's 73-45. Hilltoppers lead with 11:39 left on Flow College. I don't know how I feel about this remake of Footloose, Jesse. I mean, I'm partial to 80s music, so I kind of like the original from Kenny Loggins, but at least the fans were having a good time with it.
I personally think that we probably all, humanity all ended in 1999, and we're all in learning language model AI servers. That's why we don't have any new movies or shows. It's all reboots.
Hey, I like the King of the Hill reboot. It actually isn't so much a reboot as it is a continuation from where they left off when the show ended originally, 13, 14 years ago? Now, The Simpsons, that's a simulation that continues on in so many amalgamated forms. This shot from 3.
Over the closeout.
Yeah, Marcel Dalcourt. Kid's got game. 73-48. Give Arlington Baptist a lot of credit. They've been able to kind of slow down the Hilltoppers a little bit. I thought we would be up by a little bit more at this juncture. But that's what's to be expected. I think you would agree, Jesse, that every team that's coming in here, considering that how the Hilltoppers have been playing, are going to give them their best effort. Fielderman looking to go 3 for 3. He does from beyond the arc.
Well, they definitely, even the women's team that was here last week, seen
during that Travis Heights game?
Yeah, during the Travis Heights game. Improved talents across the board. You can see a lot of the things they're running. They're on their way up in their division of play.
Conrad had the swipe. Santoro, not once but twice, with the putback on the finish. Hilltoppers up by 30 now. Largest lead of the game for St. Ed's. That's like a long 2, and it'll clank out of the cylinder. Fielderman up ahead. Santoro has one man to beat. He has the mismatch, too. Oh, look at that. Unselfish play to the cutting Connor McManus. High IQ there from Santoro. He could have taken it himself with the mismatch, but decided to get the easy bucket instead.
McManus, the perpetual motion machine.
On the drive, good cut there from Arlington Baptist. N1, nice find by Trey Walters, the senior out of Frisco.
Connor McManus is like the all-time leading scorer in points per dribble in St. Edward's history.
It really, truly is, it seems. The McRae brothers checking in now. We go to the free throw line with Zion Bourgeois. And it's old school three-point play complete, 80-51, less than 10 minutes to go as we're on the back end of this second half of play. Fielderman, McKinney, Santoro, alongside McManus and Robert Conrad. Santoro right on the sideline, able to break through the defense, cuts through the defense, And scores the 2.
Hilltoppers there just going with a simple 5 out, spacing it for Santoro to work.
And you talked about it earlier, having a guy that can be put in isolation play like that and get you some buckets. That definitely benefit the Hilltoppers as they progress to conference play. Because we already have those meetings set for the West Texas A&Ms, for the Lubbock Christians. This shot for 3, still no go. Santoro, rebound.
It's one of those things where, you want some serrano peppers for a little bit of seasoning, but you don't want it for your main course.
I mean, the only way it really fits in my main course is it's like salsa form, a little liquefied. As you can tell, I'm hungry, I guess, because this is game number 3 for us today, so I'm talking about food now.
Conrad is just an absolute steal as a D3 transfer, as a bench player D3 transfer.
A little curse with the commentator there, though, Jess.
I mean,
I just play, man. I know. I'm just joking. Yeah,
the shot's okay. The floater's good.
I mean, people are gonna miss free throws. No, that floater, I love his floater.
The energy and the defense is really where he kind of makes hay.
I was telling Riley Moore, who joined us from the women's basketball team after their victorious night, as Sam McKinney gets the board and score off the miss, that I feel that every undersized point guard needs to have that floater shot that Conrad has in his arsenal. And he's a strong guy for 5'11".
Oh, he's an athlete. Athlete.
Because he can take a lot of contact, and he gets right through it. And it's wiped away. Fielderman gets on the court and somehow gets it up. Here's Conrad, maybe Dunk City. Oh, denied. This rim has been so cruel to both teams on the dunks.
I'm telling you, if I'm St. Edward's head track and field coach Chase Rathke, I'm calling Rob as soon as his senior season, March is over.
You gonna try to get him on the high jump team or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he is explosive. I can only imagine, when his tenure is done here on the basketball court, that he's going to be even stronger, even more explosive.
High jump, the steeplechase, one of those.
Fielderman trying to get this ball to Santoro, and he'll get it back. 9 on the shot clock. Fielderman, he has a quick first step himself. McKinney, but it will actually fall into the hands of Robert Conrad, who gets the putback. 86-51. All Hilltoppers as they have the 86-51 lead. Fielderman, McManus, Santoro. Oh, he has that pullback ability as it's knocked out of play, having to move the SU cheer team out of the way there.
I really like Max. We've seen a lot of kind of those Jake DeFranza point guards and everything, as Jake got minutes for us last year.
Yes.
And filled in some important.
Yeah, he had some run in some important games and knocked down some threes in those important games because it kind of helped keep the Hilltoppers afloat last season as they were just trying to chase a way into the conference tournament.
Or seeing like an Uzo, Dibiamaka, but Max really has like a presence about him in the way that he is with the ball, has it on a string, able to get downhill quickly and make reads.
Like, Max doesn't strike me necessarily as a player that's just going to be here on the, at the end of the bench when his time is up. He looks like a guy that's definitely going to be contributing to this squad, maybe sooner rather than later in his career, just because he has great ability, great first step, good quickness, and he's decisive. And as a point guard, that's what you want to see, is that decisiveness. He has that moxie to run the show.
And we'll see Braden and Rockman and Braden, also another player, big gains since I saw him last year.
I think that's the thing. I think that's what keeps these guys motivated, though. If you go back to last season, you just never know when your number is going to be called and when you can contribute. You think about a guy like Wonder Kahosi, who stepped in at moments last year, made some good defensive plays, knocked down a couple of shots, and that is what kind of kept the Hilltoppers afloat in those games to where they ultimately saw them through the victory. Jamison K, pull up floater, can't get it to go.
Wonder went down last home game here at Texas A&M International. Happy to see him not in a walking boot today.
Yes.
So hopefully we can get him back soon.
Yes, because a player like Wonder, that's another big body that you can put down low against what's going to be the bigs of the Lone Star Conference. I'm telling you.
Really might be the best defensive big on the team. Can guard probably 3, 4, and 5, and then 1 and 2 on switches late in the clock.
Fielderman stepping out of bounds while receiving that pass.
Really just needs to be able to find himself a role offensively. I mean, last year in the tournament saw him get some quick times and get stuck on an island and stand up, DBU's Ricky Lujan, which is insane.
Player of the year, Ricky Lujan in the conference.
Just needs to be able to find some sort of offensive role to be able to get consistent minutes.
But I think as he continues through the program, it will come. But I really like the way that this team is composed, how they've been put together. Probably one of the most complete teams we've seen here this decade. A little too hot on the dribble for Walters. 10 on the shot clock, 6:40 on the game clock. It's 86-51. Hilltoppers in front. There's going to be a foul against Spinden. Yep. Now we're starting to see a few more quick whistles than we were seeing earlier on in this contest. They got to inbound that ball before 5, and they do. Oh, and they stepped right into Jamison Kay and knocked it down over him. I didn't think that was the best shot for Gary Gray, but what do I know?
Here comes Shug and Donovan back. Oh, had that backdoor pass.
Yeah, Conrad doesn't want to be denied. You knew once he was in the paint, he's going to take the shot. 88-53. Yeah, this is good. We'd like to see all the guys get in tonight. Turnaround pull up, too short. McKinney with the rebound. Out here to Conrad. Jamison Kay can't hit the 3. Conrad flips it over to Fielderman. He'll take a shot from 3. Still too heavy. Kay back outside. Spinden with the hezzy. Spinden with the Euro. Can't get the finish. Has 3 attempts and 3 misses for the Hilltoppers on that offensive set. I think tonight, Jesse, the expectations would be to see the Hilltoppers go to the century mark, if not over. Although I'm sure that's not as important as it seems. It's all style points at that juncture. As we'll have a timeout, and this will give a chance for Shug Jinkal to get back in, as well as Donovan Santoro.
You get through the night and get the win, get players minutes, get through unscathed health-wise, and probably give, Coach Tarova just enough to yell at them in the next film session. Will make him happy.
Yeah, I mean, you want him to correct something, right? But there have been lapses from time to time, as in any game.
You mentioned the King of the Hill reboot. I'm thinking of when he gave the Uber driver 4 stars so that he had something to work
on. Yeah, it's like, I want to give you 4 stars to give you something to work on, but it's like we live in such a review-heavy world that like those 5 stars are just like, that's what people see. They don't ask any other questions. It's like, are you 5-star or 4-star?
Just give Blake some rest, because those 3 games last week in a week, you can see it take a toll on them towards the end of that second half against DBU.
Yeah, he's still a guy that's, recovering. But Blake Nielsen, to have him back on this team and just the magic that he provides, it's going to be big for the Hilltoppers as Braden Spinden gets the finish from downtown. 5 minutes to go, 91-53 after the Spinden 3. Looking to answer back, and they can't. Santoro reaches for the rebound. It's a strong rebound.
It's funny, like last year, I don't mean this to be disrespectful, but last year, Braden Spinden 3-pointer would have been like a one of those human victory cigar things. And this year, I feel he's too good. He's too good to be that.
Yeah, I mean, there were points in times last season where we're seeing the guys at the end of the bench getting a chance to run and that team would be erupting because they finally got a shot to go in. But this year it's just like the expectations are like, hey, you're getting some playing time. You're going to make every shot you take.
I think the difference for him this year is that he's able to hit them off a full sprint on the move versus just standstill only.
Yeah, and that makes a big difference when it comes to your offensive play. It's a great assessment, Jess, because, it just makes him so much more dynamic with the ball in hand, too, instead of having to wait for the offense to set up for him.
I still want to see him more in the corner route of scoring without dribbling.
It takes not everybody can be a Klay Thompson-esque or, where you're running off of screens and can get that shot set without a dribble. Everybody has different attributes, right? But
nice pull up there.
yeah, I like the idea. I say this all the time, but I'm glad to see that the art of the mid-range isn't dead. If anything, I kind of see it making a renaissance.
Well, it never die. With star players, you want to be able to get those shots up. It's the role players and the spot-up shooters that you don't want taking 15-foot jumpers.
Hilltoppers up by 40, 93-53. Turnover given away. I would imagine that's going to be the one thing that Coach Cook will probably point out during the post-game interview. Hilltoppers a little turnover heavy for their taste. What a finish! The razzle-dazzle. And one. That's a player that has a silver-like finishing badge for Zion Bourgeois.
A spectacular move by Zion Bourgeois. Bourgeois, my bad. My best.
Marv Albert?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was breathtaking, though. I wish I could hang in the air like that, honestly. To take the contact, to go from left to right hand and off the glass and in, highlight finish. And you got to give credit where credit is due. 4 minutes, 3 seconds left, 93-56, Hilltoppers. In command here, Shug Jinkal in alongside Max Fielderman as they were looking to get Shug going, but a little heavy on the pass as it goes out of play. This will take us to our last media timeout of the contest. 3:53 left.
Andre a little bit annoyed right there.
Oh, I get it. Coach Cook, despite this being non-conference, he's in conference mode right now. But this is our last media timeout.
I don't think I've seen that face since Mason Hicks.
Yeah, Mason, yes. Mason actually played some pro ball in Malta after his time here.
Had a triple-double in his first year. I remember that.
Yeah. I feel that everybody that comes to play ball here has real skill, where they can play beyond college if they desire to do so. I think Coach Cook will have you set up for it. But, it's just about the individual. Do they have the drive, have to go a long way from home a lot. But I'm always happy to see when we got guys that go pro, like Ashton, like an August Haas, like Uche, like Mason.
Obviously, I'm pumped to see what happens to the rest of Blake Nielsen's senior year. And certainly probably the best player that I've seen in my 4 years here.
He is probably the most well-rounded player I've seen.
So his first year starting his sophomore year, I remember late January. Yeah, Uche Didiamaka was an all-conference, 3-level scorer. The previous year in conference play, 50, 40, 90 shooting splits.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to Blake's sophomore year and playing at Angelo State, and they had Steve Webb, the defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
He's not on Uche.
Yeah, he wasn't on Uche.
He's on Blake Nielsen.
And it's because he has that point forward body, long, can make passes that other players can't. But he has that high IQ, man. And we know that his dad, professional coach and such. But I've even talked to his dad about this before. It's like, hey, how come Blake is so good? How much did you give him? And he's like, he would tell me that him and Blake, completely different players.
Yeah, his dad a little bit bigger, more big man, but still
Yeah.
high IQ. Blake's the kind of player where he's not necessarily if he's better than the person guarding him, he will destroy the entire team.
Yeah.
Because if he can score enough to activate his playmaking, his passing is 2 or 3 steps ahead of the defense.
Every time. And that's just it. And And that's the other thing, too, as Braden Spinnen misses the three, McKinney with the rebound.
So the key for him is going to be developing that outside shot even more, which has looked good so far.
Talking about outside shots, NBA distance there from Santoro for the three.
Or getting strong enough to activate his post game a little bit more at the next level.
Yeah, did miss the majority of last season due to the injury, so he kind of did miss out on those extra reps, obviously playing things like, and that's just it. He's still a player that I feel that's still kind of getting back into rhythm at a full game level. And I mean, you see him play, you don't think there's too much of a drop-off, but I'm thinking he still has another gear to get to. Jinkal. Peter Santoro. He's going to let it fly again. Yes! Back to back, he's heating up from downtown. You think they give him the heat check next time down?
I think he'll give himself a heat check. He's not here to pass. He's here to put up some buckets.
And he's been doing that here with this second unit. Good pass inside. The defense a little too lax. And Zion Bourgeois.
That's not to say that he's selfish.
No, I know.
No, it is.
Yeah, don't misconstrue that. He's not selfish. It's just like, hey, that was his shot. Take it, big man. I wanted to see if he could knock it down one more time. Why not? McKinney, short corner, right side. No, Jinkal with the rip and the score. So is that a steal or a rebound?
That's a rebound.
All right, board and score, 101-58, Shug Jinkal.
Still a rebound. Don't matter. It was sweet from Shug.
I was waiting for your pun to show up there.
Look at it, start singing "Sugar, Sugar, Honey, Honey." Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Well, I like how you thought about this, though, you know? That last one goes in. It's 101-60, 134 left. Post-game should be coming up after this game with head coach Andre Cook.
Braden coming out there? Oh, had Donovan on the backdoor screen right there. The slip.
Fielderman back at it again. He continues to connect from downtown in this game. That's his fifth of the game. 104-60. Outside shot. Oh, Santoro cleans it up by knocking it out of play. Yeah, Fielderman, 12 points in this game. Santoro's been leading the Hilltoppers in scoring. 17 points on 5 boards, 4 assists, and a block for the big fella.
I fell asleep for a minute there.
And we're talking too good about him.
Fortunately, Andre wasn't looking. I'm sure Nelson's watching it
Oh, yeah.
over there, but Andre had his back turned, so I don't think they'll catch that in film session.
Less than a minute to go. Heat check time. Oh, this time way off the mark.
Yeah, Coach Cook saw that one.
Yeah, definitely. I understand. Rushed that shot, but hey, you know, he had the hot hand. Let it fly. But, I mean, the Hilltoppers are looking at a
One thing I like about
42
Andre is
point
like
lead.
he'll call off the press, he'll call off a lot of it, but for the guys, he's going to let them shoot to the very last second.
Yeah, I like that because, you know, you never know when you're going to need these guys to come in and play, and you want them to be able to feel confident in that shot. Hilltoppers, are they going to call it off? There's no shot clock. Santoro loses it. One more Dunk City. Yes.
Throw it down one time.
Gary Gray with that throw down, 104-64. Hilltoppers are looking to ride this 40-point lead to the end, and they will, as we will get the ovation here for the Hilltopper faithful in these final 4 seconds. And that will officially do it. 104-64, Hilltoppers. Strong showing here tonight.